G'day, Shane here from Grape TV, and thank you for joining me at my home bar. But more importantly, thank you for helping me bring McLaren Vale wine to the world. It's been a lovely day in McLaren Vale today. Got a chance to go out and see some lovely people that make some of that lovely wine that I like to share with you. And today, one of my favourites. Haven't had a look at these wines for a while now, but I got a chance to catch up with Hoops from Curio wines today, and I'm going to try the New World Order Sangiovese 2010. Sangiovese comes from one of the vineyards on McMurtry Road. Comes from a friend of Adam's, and I think this is his first go at the Sangiovese. Using the same techniques, small individual lots of grapes, playing around with a few different techniques, wild yeasts, ferments, using cool ferments as well. It's not unusual for Adam to use dry ice and things like that in making his wines. And into some old oak for about 18 months before putting it into the bottle. So let's do some of the wanky thing. Sangiovese, of course, is one of the grape varieties that is seen as one of the emerging varieties. It's been grown in McLaren Vale now for quite a while, particularly at places like Curio, but it is getting quite a good following, one of the Italian emerging varietals. Now I'm getting some cherries that I was expecting to get out of it. I'm getting a bit of savouriness coming through, very similar to the Sangioveses that I've tried previously. I'm also getting some of that older oak character, so some spice come through there. A bit of nutmeg. Yeah, it's quite interesting. There's a couple of layers in there of the aromas, the fruit and the oak, and they're complementing each other quite well. Certainly different bits and pieces in there. Now let's keep going with the wanky thing. That's really nice. Really, really asking me to have some more, so I'm just going to have some more. There's those cherries, some interesting spice coming through there, and there's a couple of different layers of subtle spice. There's a little bit of greenness maybe, but potentially stalkiness from stalks that have been fermented with the grapes. Quite often I don't like the stalkiness character, but it seems to be showing something quite interesting in this wine. And the tannins are really interesting. Tannins quite often, can come in there and be quite aggressive. There's a fair bit of tannin here, and yes, there is a drying effect on the teeth and things like that, but it's nowhere near as aggressive as I thought all those tannins were going to be. So this is really a really interesting mix. Definitely a food wine. Definitely a food wine. 2010, great vintage, and this is showing some really interesting characters coming through. And And also, I think it's a reasonably immature vineyard, if it's the vineyard that I'm thinking of on McMurtry Road. Yeah, that's a really interesting wine. Definitely food. In fact, I'm going to have a spaghetti bolognese tonight. I actually couldn't think of much more perfect wine to have with it. I find those tannins really interesting. The tannin profile, as you're drinking it, you can get the tannin profile going through and coming up quite high, but it's not that big oak monster that you get from some wines. I'm actually finding this wine quite intriguing. So yes, the 2010 New World Order Sangiovese from Curio. Adam, I think you've done a great job with this one. Certainly different to the Sangioveses I've had so far, but at the same time there is that sameness with the Sangioveses. Definitely the more cherry end of the spectrum in terms of fruit flavours, and definitely that savouriness comes through that you really expect from this variety. Quite impressed, quite impressed. So check it out. I think it's just over $20. I think it's $21 or $22. I'm sure Adam will tell me off if I've got that wrong. And I actually think quite good value at that price. So yeah, if you get a chance, check it out. The Curio New World Order 2010 McLaren Vale Sangiovese. Look, that's all we have time for on Grape TV today. It's been great sharing this emerging varietal with you, Sangiovese, and it's been a great sunshine-filled day. And there hasn't been a lot of those lately in McLaren Vale, coming out of winter. But I hope you've had as good a day as I have, and have a great week, and I'll see you next time. Thank you very much.